Hey y'all, I am back with another video. So I want to talk about being a dark-skinned black person because some of this shit that we experience it's out of hand and we need to talk about it. Okay, so I can't tell you how many times I have gone on a date, posted a picture online, gone out to like a club or even like at a mall or something like that, trying on clothes in the dressing room and had somebody stop and go, "Oh, you are attractive for a dark-skinned person." Or, you on a date or something like that, and you have somebody say something like, "Yeah, usually I don't date dark-skinned dudes, but like I would date you." And then, of course, that's when the date ends and, you walk your black ass up out of there. But people say these types of things and you can see their eyes light up when they say it, like they have discovered some rare gem or they are saying something of absolute genius and they expect for you to be happy that they said that about you. This is so layered for a lot of reasons. Number one, because you would think I had this happen to me back in 1957. Sometime or something like that, okay? But this shit that I'm telling you about has been in like 2019, 2020, 2021. This is stuff that happens to a lot of dark-skinned people now. And I think it's something that some of us are oblivious to because we feel like, oh, it's 2021. We don't think people say it, but it's something that in a lot of ways we don't allow people to say certain things, but at the same time, on the flip, there are also a lot of things that we still will casually say. And if we are not careful with checking ourselves, catching ourselves, listening to what we're saying, we'll miss it. And especially if you aren't living that person's experience, you're really gonna miss it. And I'm pretty sure that there are quite a few dark-skinned people who have had these types of experiences. Now, the crazy part is, this isn't even coming from white folks. Even though some of them still will try to come up and grab your hair. You see my nice flowing afro, they be trying to touch my afro. No, but of course, white folks, sometimes, you see the videos online where the Karens will ask people what, how long they've been living in an apartment building or whatever. But these are other black people that I'm talking about right now. These are, some lighter skinned black folks who will say this type of stuff to you and again, expect you to feel good about it. And of course, when it comes down to the dating apps and social media where folks can hide behind their keyboards, they be talking shit. That's where they talk the most shit. If you get on social media, for instance, you even see how people respond to pictures. So for instance, this is just something that I casually look at just to kind of gauge what people think, just to make sure I'm not tripping. For instance, if you see a dark-skinned person post like a chocolate brother post, some picture on the beach on Instagram, it will get attention because you cannot deny that chocolate is beautiful. Chocolate is gorgeous. So of course there are some folks on there who will look at it, they'll like it, they'll comment. But if you look at how folks respond to lighter skinned black men, you will see that it's treated with a lot more celebration. Even the types of emojis and things like that people use. And from a lot of the conversations that I've heard, especially in the black gay community, and this is not something that's exclusive to the black gay community, but I've said several times that the shallowness and all the other things associated with that shallowness, that shit is on steroids in the black gay community, in the gay community, period, but especially black gay community. We subscribe to all those politics that we claim we don't. So if you are fat, if you are femme, if you are dark skinned, if you don't make a certain type amount, if you don't make a certain amount of money, people gonna be looking at you sideways. But there might be a certain exception for you. For instance, if you broke, but you got a big old dick, then there's the exception. If you are darker skinned, but you have really clear skin. You're fun to hang out with. You got to have a really nice body. You got to have a big old ass. You got to have a big old dick. You got to be dressed a certain type of way. You got to be driving a certain type of car and living a certain type of way. Then people will find you attractive. And it's weird, and that shit still exists. Even when you're out and stuff like that, for instance, I may be out sometimes, and even when I'm having conversations with some white folks and things like that, they will be surprised and slightly turned on when they find out that you are darker skinned and you epitomize blackness, but you are articulate. But you've been around the world, but you know different languages. Or if you don't know a few different languages, you done spent some time read some shit on Twitter, you can say a few sentences. Hello, somebody. But there seems to be a level of surprise when you either surprise or intimidation when you are darker skinned and you carry yourself with a level of confidence. Because even in the subliminals, if you look in the dictionary, for instance, if you look up dark, people see dark, words matter. So if you look in the dictionary and you see dark and it says something like dirty, black, lie, all that type of stuff. And a friend in Oakland named kinfolks of mine, what really brought this to my attention and reinforced the understanding that I had of it. People look at your skin color and they associate those things with you, just like it's been studies that have been shown that being darker skinned, they equate you with having a higher threshold for pain and all that type of stuff. So this stuff is real. Not to mention growing up, you would see the lighter skinned kids get treated a little bit better and told that they have good hair, or that, they were going to be heartbreakers and all that type of stuff growing up. When you are growing up dark skinned and you have coarse, snappy hair and them combs and stuff like that be breaking, you hear that. And they say, why your hair got to be like this? Why you got to be that black? Why your nose got to look like that? And that really does program two things to happen. That programs you to believe that you're unattractive, that something is flawed about the way that you look. And it also allows other people to believe, especially lighter skinned folks, to believe that they are better than you and they can hand out those backhanded compliments like you are attractive to be dark skinned. I think that a lot of the attractions that some people have for us are rooted in a lot of like fetishization, because, there are a lot of folks who will fuck us, and they'll say it, especially on Twitter. Twitter is where it really goes down and people really say their honest opinions. There are some people who will fuck us, but when it comes down to somebody that they want to marry, light skin is bae. For as many of those people who say they're surprised when they see an attractive dark skinned person, some of those same people or some others will want a dark-skinned person as like a trophy piece for their partner. And this is where some more of that fetishization comes in, because while they may not publicly or honestly admit that we look good and we're beautiful, there are a lot of ideas around darker skin and chocolate about, big old dicks and, sex gods and mandingo, and, we'll come up in your house and we'll rule your house and break your back and all that. And even that's just too much energy. Too much energy to be put into being a trophy. And then for a lot of them, if they have you and you're entertaining them, or they're entertaining you or whatever, they become disappointed if you don't bring all that. We're not fetishes. And if you come get me and you think I'm going to come up in your house and rule it and break your back and be your Adonis, you're going to be disappointed, because I'm going to come up in there and I'm going to make me a pot of greens and some sweet potatoes, and I'm going to go to sleep on that couch. I'd be too tired for all that. Don't nobody got time to be your mandingo fantasy. So share your experiences. These are experiences that I've had with other black folks who are lighter skinned. It's also, unfortunately, been something that I have experienced dealing with some white folks and some folks who are racially ambiguous, and this is something that we need to talk about more. So please share your thoughts in the comments. Also, like the video, share the video, turn on your notifications so you know when I put a video online or come online. And if you're on Instagram, come follow me on Instagram at Samson McCormick. All right, take care, and I will see you next time.